Today we're putting Mangoal's universal dash cam to the test on my daily driver, the Focus ST. I'm gonna see if it's actually easy to install as they claim, and more importantly, if it would deliver the footage you'd want when something unexpected happens on the road. Now there's not gonna be any sugarcoating on this review. If it's great, I'm gonna tell you that. But if it's poo, I'm gonna tell you that too. Now with that said, let's rip into this and see what we got. Now, not only does Mangoal make universal dash cams, but they also make cams that are custom fit to certain makes and models. Now, if you want to know what makes and models are available, take a look at their website, and there's a listing there of all the vehicles they support. Let's open the box and see what we have in here. Right out of the box, you can see they give you everything you need to hook this camera up. You have the camera itself, an instruction manual for the installation and operation of this camera, a power cord that goes directly to your OBD2 port, so you don't have to do any wiring on your own, a windshield mount to go around your rearview mirror with additional adhesive, a 128 gigabyte SD card, a trim tool, and a rear-facing camera should you decide to install it for additional protection. Now my ST is going to differ from others because it's kind of a weird animal. I have a rearview mirror from a Nissan Murano because it has garage door buttons and a compass built into it as well. And because of that mirror, it has a very wide windshield mount. But I'll show you how we can do a little bit of modification to get this dash cam installed around it. First things first, I need to get my plastic trim out from around the base of the mirror. Just like that. Now under this cover is electronics for my mirror, but I'm going to take it out of this and I'm going to remove this base here because this base is too wide to allow my dash cam to fit over properly. So I'm going to remove this part out from the mirror. Now I'm going to test fit the dash cam and you can see I now fit over top of there. And what I'm going to do is take this circuit board out of this holder and it'll fit inside there. And I'll just let it hang in there. All right, I separated the circuit board and it'll hang out right about in here and then it'll just sit inside of the dash cam. Loving it already. Now they give you zip ties in the kit to tie these wires all together. I like it a little cleaner than that. So I'm actually going to wrap these in electrical tape like they would from the factory. And I'm just going to follow it down to our connectors just to give it a cleaner look, and then this can follow up the windshield and it'll look like it belongs there. There you go. All right, since our mounting base is double-sided adhesive, we're going to take some alcohol and just clean up everywhere around it where that's going to stick to, because we need a nice clean surface for this adhesive to stick. And then we'll just use the dry side of the paper towel to just dry everything and clean it off completely. There we go, like so. All right, we're going to take the adhesive off our mount and we're going to mount this nice and straight. Now we're going to take our dash cam and put it into place just like so. And we can route our wires up and over the mirror like this. And then they can tuck into the trim here. All right, next you're going to take your included OBD2 adapter cord for your power and you're going to connect the power end to the camera and snap it into place. There. Now for our installation, that is the only wires we are hooking up. This is for the rear camera, and this is for optional GPS. And you can buy a universal GPS antenna to hook to this, if you so chose to. But for now, we're going to use our trim tool and tuck up all of our wiring. This is really hard to do one-handed. Let's see if I can get you a view. Sorry I couldn't show you that better. I'm a one-man camera operation, so you can see the wiring is tucked nicely behind the header panel here, and we can keep tucking our power cord over to the A-pillar where we're going to run it through next. Continue tucking your wire at the header panel. I'm going to pull my weather stripping back so I can undo my A-pillar here. Okay, my apologies. I thought I was recording here on the driver's side, but my camera had failed and it wasn't recording at that time. So you missed me tucking the wiring in behind the weather stripping and the A-pillar. So what I did was I ran the power cable through the header panel here, and then I pulled the A-pillar trim back just a little bit, ran it underneath here, pulled the weather stripping down, and ran it all the way down through here and tucked it in above the kick panel right here through here. Now, if you don't want to, or you can't use your OBD2 port because you have an access port on there, or some other device, or you just choose not to use your OBD2 port, you can actually snip this connector off, peel back your wires, and you can wire this anywhere you want. Even though I have a tune, I'm not running an access port, so I'm taking mine right to the OBD2 port. And in a focus, the OBD2 port is actually in behind this cover that opens up. So we're going to take our harness and bring it through the back and plug it right in here and close this up. Now you can actually take your excess cabling and just stuff it right behind the kick panel here. Now up under your dash, there's a nice opening to bring this through. Right like that. And you can connect it upside down just like that and close your cover. And it's like nothing ever happened here. Since the dash cam is now officially installed, I need to install the app for it. So we're going to take our phone, hit this QR code. It's going to take us to the Skycam app, and we're going to install it. I almost forgot we got to take our SD card and put it in the camera before we first use it. Camera makes noises, and when you put it in, put your contacts facing the rear and push it till it locks in. Next, we're going to take our Skycam app and open it up, and we're going to start the add camera function. Then we'll allow it to find devices on the network, install the camera and power it on, which we already did. So we're going to hit next. We're going to connect to Wi-Fi. We're going to go to our Wi-Fi. We're going to connect to this Wi-Fi right here, and we're going to enter the default password of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and hit join. And now we're connected to it. We'll go back to our app. Now that we're connected to the camera, we need to go into the settings, and we need to format the SD card for the first time. Format successful, and now the camera is officially recording. Let's see what kind of quality we got. Though I didn't install the rear-facing camera, it would be very easy to install. The connector just plugs into the one wire that came off the dash cam, and then you would route the rest of the cabling in around your trim and hide it and tuck it like you would any other installation. And then this would stick to your back window. Now I may install this later, but for the purposes of this video, I'm not going to yet. Now that we have the installation out of the way, let's go get some real-world footage of this dash cam in action. Garage door buttons are still working, everything's working on the mirror. Looks like we have a storm on the way. Now let's look at the daytime footage, but this camera also has night vision features as well. So I use my magic fingertips, and now it's nighttime. Let's see what it looks like with the headlights off. Okay, now that we've installed the Mangoal dash cam and we've seen the footage from it, let's give it an honest review and a rating from a few different categories such as build quality, installation, daytime footage quality, nighttime footage quality, value, and an overall rating. Now I'm going to give my thoughts on each category as well as a rating from 1 to 5, with 1 being the lowest and 5 being the highest. So let's start off with build quality. It seems to be a pretty durable unit, and I've taken on some of the finest roads Pennsylvania has to offer without issue. That being said, I would have liked to have seen an adhesive channel that the wiring could ride in up the window just for that extra cleaner install. So for build quality, I'm giving it a solid 4. Next, let's talk about the installation. This couldn't get any easier if you tried. It's one of the easiest things I've ever installed. And legitimately, I could have likely installed this into Focus in about 20 minutes if it weren't for filming, which makes everything take longer. Now, the only thing keeping me from giving it a 5 in this category is the app. If you need to connect your phone to the camera, you do it over the camera's integrated Wi-Fi network. And if you don't have the ignition on or the car running, the camera will time out after about a minute and you'll lose your connection to that Wi-Fi network. It really is just a minor inconvenience, but because of that, I can't give it a 5. It has a solid 4 in this category as well. Now on to the daytime footage quality. And this is where the dash cam really shines. You get nice and crisp 4K footage out of it, and God forbid if you ever have an incident on the road, you should be able to review the finest details in the recording. So because of that, the Mangoal gets a 5 in this category. Let's move on to nighttime footage quality. This is an area where I feel there's a little bit of room for improvement as there's no night vision on this camera. I feel like there was an opportunity missed there. But what I will say is that clean and crisp 4K resolution you get out of the daytime, you also get at nighttime, and you'll get a good clear picture of everything you can see with the naked eye. So unfortunately, since it doesn't have night vision features, but it still provides a clean and clear image, I have to give it a 3. Next, we'll talk about the value of the Mangoal. Now this one's a hard one to rate because there's not many companies out there that do custom installations like this. As a matter of fact, when I Googled, I could only find one other company and the prices are about the same. But what you're looking at for a price here is about $170 for a single cam or $250 for both front and rear cams. That is, of course, unless you use my Rusted Nut discount code at checkout, where you'll get to enjoy another 10% off. So for you, that makes this the best value for the money and gives the Mangoal a solid 5 in this category. And lastly, that leaves me with my overall rating and review on this camera. And I just got to tell you, from a guy that never really cared to have a dash cam, it really impressed me. From the ease of installation to how sharp that footage is, I'm really glad I have this in my car. Well, not this one, but the other one. I'm very confident should there ever be an episode on the road, I'm going to get great footage out of it. Though with my commuter, it'll likely be the rear end of a deer. Also, I love that it came with a 128 gigabyte SD card. The other company that I found that was doing custom dash cams like this only comes with a 64 gig card. So that's just another reason why this camera is the better value. And that leads me to my overall rating, which I'm going to give this a very stout 4. While there's some room for improvement, this is a really great camera. And I want to thank Mangoal for sending it to me and let me take it for a spin. So there you have it. If you're in the market for a dash cam that doesn't stick out like a sore thumb and call attention to itself, and you want detailed 4K footage, this is the camera for you. So hop on over to mangoaltech.com, use my Rusted Nut discount code, and get one of these on its way to you. Also, don't forget to show your support by liking this video, subscribing to my channel, and signing up for notifications. And with that said, have a fantastic day, and I'll see you in the next video.